the beginning of the pandemic. We worked on the first piece that you'll be hearing tonight, Alone Together. I think it was in March, or later, early in the spring. In any case, so the first half of the concert will feature a set of songs that John and I have created together. And then the second half of the concert will be the Grinnell Jazz Ensemble, the group of students that's been collaborating remotely to bring you this concert tonight. So to begin with, we'll be hearing this piece that John and I created in the spring called "Alone Together," and as is the case with most of the music that John and I have made together over the years, it starts with usually some kind of compositional kernel that John brings to the mix, and then we elaborate on that idea through improvisation, by improvising on that idea, or that set of ideas together. So John, I wonder if you can speak briefly to how that particular piece came together.
Yeah, that piece, I'm a little confused because I've got 20 seconds ahead going through my head, so it takes great concentration to speak without getting confused. Yeah, so the original title for this piece was The Last Normal Day. It was really just in those first few days of the pandemic when things were so strange. And so I made some music, and then I sent it to you, Mark, and then you added to it or had your own take on it. So it's really kind of a musical correspondence. It was really a fun way to just engage in that new situation. And in this piece, I used some tricks with some electronic tricks so I could sing really high and accurately. And so it's like I'm playing a different instrument rather than singing. And my instrument is somewhat close to where the alto sax is. And, in this new world, it was like being able to play a new instrument and just be in this weird new electronic situation. Feeling all that feeling of uncertainty and strangeness, but also there was some excitement in it. And it was just a fun thing to have this new way of exchanging music.
Well, why don't we share that piece then, Alone Together?
Okay, here it goes. So.
Together at the same time, at least if you're trying to play in time with one another, in rhythm with one another. So this piece, along with the ones that you'll hear over the next few minutes, are all pieces that John and I recorded independently of one another, sending audio and video files back and forth to account for the fact that we can't play at the same place in the same time. Forgive me, I forgot to mute my YouTube feed.
I fixed it.
And ended up hearing myself talk 20 seconds after the fact. So this is the latency issue in action. The next piece that we'll move into here is, I should let John introduce it, I think, because I know it's one of his favorite tunes, and it was a treat for me to play it with him.
Oh yeah, so this piece, When Sonny Gets Blue. Sorry, we're just getting used to this new thing of doing a Zoom call over this program OBS, and anyway, I'm hearing voices, but anyway, this is really one of my favorite songs, and from when my older brother Doug used to play it down in Southern California. Doug is a really fantastic guitarist, singer, songwriter, and musician, and so he used to sing this song in these different clubs in Southern California, and has such memories of it. It has this great lyric. It's quite a sad song, about lost love. And Mark, it has incredible harmonies, right? I mean, the chord changes are just, you've heard of these 3-chord songs, and this is like not one of them.
It's such a richly composed song with a beautiful sense of harmony, and it's one of the great senses of loss for me has been being unable to play music like this with people. And so this was not quite the same as being in the same room as somebody while we play together, but it was a pretty special experience making this next recording with John. So let's give it a listen.
And the idea in the song of loss and of love gone awry, but it turns hopeful to the end. At the end, it says, "But memories fade and pretty dreams will rise up where the other dreams fell through." So it has a hopeful ending. Here's When Sonny Gets Blue.
When Sonny gets blue, her eyes turn gray and cloudy. Then the rain begins to fall. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, love is gone, so what can matter? No sweet lover man comes to call. When Sonny gets blue, she heaves a sigh of sadness, like the wind that stirs the trees. Wind that sets the leaves swaying, like some violins are playing. Weird and haunting melodies. That's how she got her name. Since that sad affair, she's lost her smile, changed her style. Somehow, she's not the same. But memories fade, and pretty dreams will rise up where the other dreams fell through. Hurry, new love, hurry here. Chase away each lonely tear. Hold her near when sunny is blue.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about camera angles since we recorded that one. I generally do a better job of not filming directly up my nose, but that's one of the many things that we've all learned over the course of this experience together. We'll continue with Amara, I think we said, right, John? So this is a piece that John and I have been playing together in a lot of different contexts for actually, I think 5 years, right? We performed it first together in a concert that we did the first time that we improvised together, in fact, in fall of 2015, and we've been revisiting it again and again ever since. And in fact, this is the recording from that 2015 performance. So it's kind of a flashback, both musically and also a flashback to a time when we could be in the same place. So since that time, we've performed and I think recorded some live versions of performances with the Grinnell Singers as well, in a choral arrangement of this tune that John put together. And John, I wonder if you can speak a little bit to the to your history with this composition.
Yeah, it's kind of a special piece for me. I think it comes from a very simple sort of elemental place, really a place of listening, and so it requires a certain mindset, I think, to let it sink in. In the beginning of the piece, I use a trick. I take right before you start, I push down all the keys on the bottom of the piano and then use the special middle pedal, which makes those keys stay down, which lifts up the dampers. Anyway, so that when you're playing higher, it creates a kind of halo over the sound that you can listen to. So the opening is very slow and very sort of meditative. And you'll notice that effect, this kind of halo around the sound. It has a rather big build toward the center. We've done several versions of this piece, and that was really a special performance for me. That first one. So really, really happy to share it. The video, I should say, is low quality, but other than that, I think it's a really special performance. Here we go. Amara.
It's such a beautiful piece that that John wrote, and you know, there's so much material to think about, you know, in the composition. There's it invites a lot, I think, by way of improvisation. It's been really, you know, a joy to visit and revisit that piece in all kinds of different formats over the years. We're going to conclude the first half of our set tonight with a more familiar tune. This is a Christmas tune, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, originally from the 1944 film Meet Me in St. Louis, performed by Judy Garland. So this is the version that John and I pulled together of this this morning. As we've, you know, gradually gotten better at doing this kind of thing and gotten a little faster at doing this kind of thing, we can be way more last minute about it, which works great for my lifestyle anyway, and how I tend to approach the world. So this is, you know, from 1944, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, performed on Monday morning by
Monday morning.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year, all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year, all our troubles will be far away. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Someday soon we all may be together, if the fates allow. Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
When that tune was written, and when it premiered at the movie, Judy Garland sang it with the lyric, with the lyric that John uses. Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. And when Frank Sinatra recorded it for his Christmas record a few years later, he insisted on changing that lyric because he thought that wartime, you know, 1944 wartime lyric was much too bleak for a Christmas song. And so he changed it to the lyric that's more widely used now, hang a shining star from the highest bough. So it's an interesting sort of movement, I think, from you know, optimism to pessimism in the course of the original song, and in terms of the historical trajectory of the changes that have been made to that song over time. It's you know, gives us a little bit of hope, I think. we'll play the second half, move into the Grinnell Jazz Ensemble material. And the Grinnell Jazz Ensemble evidently has looked very different this year, as everything has. Because we were unable to meet in person, students met with me once or twice a week on Zoom. We met individually and also as a group in order to workshop the music for the two movements that you'll be hearing tonight from the Duke Ellington Billy Strayhorn arrangements of Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Suite. The overture and the dance of the Floreadores, which is the Strayhorn-Ellington arrangement of the Waltz of the Flowers. Students practiced and recorded all of these parts together individually, emailed their recordings to me, and then I've been spending the last couple of weeks editing everything together, which has been a huge learning experience for me, and one of the many ways in which there have been, certain affordances, I think, to the last 6 months, all of the 9 months, 10 months, all of the things that we've managed to figure out how to do to cope. The first piece that you'll hear, the overture, will introduce you to the premise of these Ellington Strayhorn arrangements. You'll hear Tchaikovsky's beloved familiar melodies, reimagined for Ellington's 1950s swing band. It was recorded in 1960 by the Ellington Orchestra. You'll hear the tunes but with hard grooving swing rhythms, the creative orchestrations that typified Ellington's style, and the enthralling and sometimes bewildering harmonic dissonances that were a hallmark of Strayhorn's writing. So here's our interpretation of the Ellington Strayhorn interpretation of the Tchaikovsky original overture to the Nutcracker Suite. It has been such a joy to work with this group of musicians this term. In the face of all kinds of weirdness and anxiety and all of the other kind of negativity that we've been swimming in for the last while. The joy and the determination with which these musicians met this particular challenge is something that I'm so proud to have been a part of. You heard a little bit from Annika Schultz on the trumpet on that recording. Also from Nathaniel Yurschak on the trombone. And who am I missing? You heard from me for a minute on the tenor saxophone. So we'll conclude tonight's set with the second piece that we worked on, but it's the second to last movement from the Ellington Strayhorn arrangements, the Waltz of the Flowers. So here, these great composers take one of the best known movements from Tchaikovsky's ballet and twist it rhythmically. So whereas Tchaikovsky's waltz in 3/4 time, whereas Tchaikovsky has written this waltz in 3/4 time, Ellington and Strayhorn turn it into a dance, an up-tempo dance with 4 beats to the bar instead of 3. Ellington and Strayhorn also used this piece as a showcase for some of the great soloists in the band. And you'll hear some of the finest players at Grinnell College recapitulating these iconic parts. Zach Brennan playing the role of baritone saxophonist Harry Carney on the bass clarinet. Jordan Ryan takes on Ray Nance's trumpet solo. Noel Fernandez steps in playing the flute for the great trombonist Lawrence Brown. Evan Borberg playing Jimmy Blanton's bass part. And finally, our clarinetist Lucy Green does a masterful job of playing the part of Ellington's clarinetist Jimmy Blanton. So here's Dance of the Floridores.
Hey, did he throw in some Take the A Train at the end there?
Uh, it's that chord. It's that like
Oh,
sharp 11 dominant seventh chord that he uses all the time.
okay.
Sharp 11 or sharp 5, I forget which one.
That was amazing. I love those performances.
They did a really good job.
I guess that concludes our concert.
Um, yeah, I guess that's the end. I think it's a good way to go out. And I know that that's the first time that some of the jazz ensemble folks in the very active chat have heard those, especially Dance to the Floreadores. So I hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed working on it. It's again, like what a pleasure to get to listen to all your parts and you know help bring them together. And you know, miss you all tons. I hope we can do it in person really soon. So thanks to the members of the jazz ensemble for all their work this semester, and thanks especially to John Rommereim for lending his musicianship and his technical expertise to make tonight happen for us.
It was a pleasure. It's so great. Thanks, Mark.
I hope that we'll see you all again really soon. Take care of yourselves.